The cafeteria at Fort Bragg buzzed with the usual lunchtime chaos. Sergeant First Class Maria Santos moved between the tables with practiced efficiency, balancing trays of food and refilling coffee cups. Her uniform was crisp, her movements precise, but there was something in her eyes that spoke of distances far greater than the length of this dining hall. She had been reassigned to food. Services 3 months ago? No explanation, no discussion. Just orders that came down from somewhere above, shuffling her away from her unit and into this kitchen. At 42 years old, with 19 years of service behind her, Maria had learned not to question the Army's decisions. She simply showed up, did her job, and went home to her small apartment off base. Today was different, though. Today, a delegation of generals was visiting, and the entire staff had been briefed to be on their absolute best behavior. Maria watched as they filed in, their chests decorated with ribbons and medals that told stories of campaigns and victories. She recognized some of them from briefings, from news reports, from that other life she used to live. "Santos, you're on the officers' section," her supervisor barked. "Make sure their water glasses stay full and clear their plates promptly." Maria nodded and moved toward the designated area. The generals talked in low voices about troop movements, budget allocations, and readiness reports. To them, she was invisible, just another enlisted soldier doing a job that needed doing. She poured water, delivered meals, and stepped back into the shadows. General Robert Mitchell was the last to arrive. He was older than the others, with silver hair and the kind of weathered face that came from decades of hard decisions. As Maria placed his lunch before him, he glanced up briefly, offering a polite nod. She turned to leave, but something made him look again. His eyes dropped to her uniform, to the small ribbon bar above her left pocket. Among the usual array of service ribbons, one stood out. The Silver Star, the nation's third highest military decoration for valor in combat. The general's expression changed. He set down his fork and leaned forward slightly, studying the ribbon more carefully. Then he looked up at her face, really looked at her, perhaps for the first time. "Sergeant Santos," he said quietly. The conversations around the table died down. "That Silver Star, where did you earn it?" Maria felt every eye in the room turn toward her. Her throat tightened. "Kandahar Province, sir." 2019. "Tell me," he said, and it wasn't a request. She swallowed hard. The memories came flooding back whether she wanted them to or not. "My convoy was ambushed, sir. I took out the lead vehicle. We were pinned down by heavy fire from 3 directions. Our lieutenant was injured, unconscious. Someone had to take command." She paused, her hands steady despite the storm inside her. "I organized the defense, called in air support, and pulled 2 wounded soldiers from a burning vehicle under direct enemy fire. We held that position for 47 minutes until the QRF arrived." The silence in the room was absolute. General Mitchell stood up slowly. "And now you're serving lunch?" It wasn't a question, but Maria answered anyway. "Yes, sir." "I follow orders, sir." The general's jaw tightened. He looked at her supervisor, who had gone pale, then back at Maria. "What's your most, Sergeant?" "Infantry squad leader, sir." "Until my reassignment." "And why were you reassigned?" Maria hesitated. This was dangerous ground. "I was told the unit needed to restructure, sir. That my skills could be better utilized elsewhere." General Mitchell's eyes narrowed. He pulled out his phone and stepped away from the table, speaking in urgent, clipped tones. The other generals watched in confused silence. Maria stood frozen, unsure whether she should stay or go. 5 minutes later, the general returned. He looked directly at Maria, and there was something fierce in his expression. Something that reminded her why she had joined the Army in the first place. "Sergeant Santos, effective immediately, you're reassigned to the 82nd Airborne Division's training cadre. We need experienced combat leaders to prepare the next generation, and we need them now. Report to Colonel Hayes at 0800 tomorrow." He paused, then added quietly, "Thank you for your service." "Your real service." Maria felt something break open inside her chest, something she had kept locked away for months. "Thank you, sir." As the generals filed out, several stopped to shake her hand. But Maria barely noticed. She was thinking about tomorrow, about getting back to what she was meant to do, about soldiers who needed leaders who had been there and survived, and could show them the way. She was thinking about coming home.